We'd like to welcome everyone tonight. Can everybody hear me? Is this better? Okay. So we just wanted to welcome everybody tonight and thank everybody for coming. We would like to do a special thanks to our presenting sponsor tonight, which is the Manatee County Sheriff's Office at this table. We would also do a welcome to Chief Bevan with Bradenton PD. She's here. And as many of you know, we really support you guys, or we love your support, your agencies with us with At Hope. Because as many of you know, we work kind of hand in hand. So we'd like to thank all of you. We would also like to, I'm going to introduce Shar before we kick this off. This is our lovely CEO. She's going to
We're going off script here a little bit, so I just would like to say that we're happy that you're here with us tonight, and your presence means a lot to us and to the victims of domestic violence whose lives will be, who will benefit from tonight's event. You're making a difference in their lives by giving them hope, opportunity, and dignity. You're showing them that they are not alone, that they have a community that cares about them and supports them. And we would like to thank our sponsors, again, Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Carl Reynolds Law, they're always a sponsor, Mariner Wealth Advisors, Michelle Cross, Heather and Rod, thank you so much for being here, Rosemary Stack and Friends, Ameris Bank, Lucille Payne, NAFI, NAFI,
Yeah.
NAFI, Patty and Bob Brobel. Here's Patty. She's the one modeling the bracelet that's for raffle tonight. Charms of Leffingwell, Belt Salon, the Bradenton Police Department, Rosemary, Montana, Dr. Carol Kleinman, Monica Templeman, Kit Kearney, and your CBD store. That sounds like fun. Because of your generosity, we're able to continue to provide free and confidential services for those who are not safe in their own home. And we want to thank all of the donors that have made this event possible. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Katie because she has a special award to give.
So as you guys know, if I didn't say, this is the 25th annual Black and White. We have a little bit of we have two of the original board members 25 years ago. We have Bob Harrington and Louise Taylor, and they're up here at the front, just wave. We also have Hope's former CEO and director, Laurel Lynch, who I'm going to ask to come up here. Many of you that have been here before, you'll recognize her face. You would recognize her voice too, but she's got a little bit of laryngitis, so she's not going to speak. She will just stand here and look pretty. Just in a brief, if you look up the abbreviated version of legacy, it's an impact of particular events or actions that took place in the past. And what we would like to do is thank Bob and Louise for a legacy of the black and white. We've kept it the black and white. We've stayed true to it over the 25 years. And we would just like to thank them for it. Bob? Dad. Some of you know he's also my father too. So it kind of, the legacy goes stronger because he was the president of Hope. And now he's got the legacy in me, and I'm the president now. But he taught me what Hope is about, and it showed me what, the benefits of being with some great people and the changes that we make in people's lives. So we wanted to present you with this, the Legacy Award. I know you don't want to say anything because you can't. Do you want to say anything?
He's Irish, of course he does.
Oh, now you can talk. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here this evening and carrying on this tradition that We started 25 years ago, and it seems to have caught on, and it's because of your support that Hope is what it is. Between you folks and the various staff folks and board members that we've got, including Shar and Laurel and my daughter Katie. Anyway, but again, thank you so much for being here and so much for this award. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
We just wanted to kick off the night and just let you know, with the 25 years, it started with them. They were looking for an idea for a fundraiser for Hope, and that's how the Black and White started, and that's here we are 25 years later. So we just wanted to recognize them. I'm just going to hand this over to Shar, and she is going to get the night started.
Am I dismissed?
You are dismissed.
Thank you.
Go back to being retired. You're fine.
Great, I highly recommend it.
See, she can't even talk. I just have a couple more things that I want to tell you. We want to give a special thanks to Charles Clapsaddle and METV. They have supported Hope for longer than I can even remember. We'll be seeing Jennifer's video a little bit later, and we couldn't have done it without you, Charles. I also want to express my gratitude to Hope's board and the staff who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event memorable and meaningful. And if there's any board members in the audience, which I know there are, Katie would like you to stand.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot.
They make everything happen for us. They are hard workers and are dedicated to the cause. We thank each and every one of you for coming tonight and to support victims and survivors of domestic violence. I know you've heard it before, but I'd like to say it again. Because of you, there is hope. Now, I want to turn it over to our co-chairs for tonight's event, two women who have boundless energy. It's amazing. And they have my eternal gratitude for pulling this all together for us tonight. Monica Templeman and Patty Roble.
Who's first?
Okay, we're going to sit.
Well, I also want to echo my welcome to all of you, particularly our sincere thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors, donors, and guests. Working on this event has been an absolute labor of love, and I really feel honored to share as a co-chair of the 25th Hope Black and White. And thank you to Katie's father for founding the idea. It was fabulous. And I'm so impressed how many local businesses and individuals really stepped up to support Hope Family Services. So Hope on Broadway, it's a celebration. It's a celebration of triumph over adversity. And I really feel truly blessed to live in such a caring community that comes together to support victims and survivors of domestic violence. I'm so delighted that many of our sponsors and our donors have been able to attend this evening. I want to give a quick shout out to the Lakewood Ranch Women's Club. Hope is one of their adopted charities for many years, and they continue to support Hope with a lot of love. And I would like to welcome all our new friends and all our new supporters. Again, welcome. My sincere thanks to METV and our outstanding DJ, JB Baxter from More Than Music, who always supports charity fundraisers, and Haley Sunding, who is the catering manager for the Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club, and her fabulous team. They give us invaluable assistance on this event. We are completely sold out, and I am so grateful to all of you for your unprecedented support. Thank you. At this juncture, I would like to thank my terrific co-chair and very dear friend, Patty Roble. Patty worked with me every step of the way to bring this event to fruition, and Patty is single-handedly responsible for bringing our marvelous and acclaimed Broadway singer in our entertainment tonight, and in just a few minutes, she's going to introduce her. But first, I would be totally remiss if I didn't personally express my gratitude to our board president, Katie Williams, Hope CEO, Shar Young, we just heard from, and Katie you heard from, our entire dedicated Hope board, they work wonderfully together, and our amazing Hope staff. And they are absolutely amazing. The Hope team did a beautiful job, and I think you'll all agree, putting together all those tempting silent auction baskets and artfully packaging a lavish bucket of booze and the wonderful lottery tree prize at our level 1 raffles. And my very special thanks to Dr. Carol Kleinman for very generously donating that exquisite John Hardy bracelet that Patty is wearing, black sapphire bracelet worth $4,500 as our fabulous level 2 raffle prize. Patty Roble, as you see, is modeling it, and it's not too late to get raffle tickets. Thank you for all of you for bringing this whole event to a whole new level. Speaking of the silent auction, just a few quick other remarks. I want to assure you that 100% of the net proceeds raised from this event tonight will be used to help the critical needs of victims and survivors of domestic violence and their children in Manatee County. Knowing this, you can feel great about buying raffle tickets, bidding on those amazing silent auction items, and also giving opportunities that are outlined on your giving cards on your table. Now, this will all be explained about the giving opportunities later in the program. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Please keep in mind the silent auction raffles will close promptly at 8:30, so get in your best bid and buy your raffle tickets before it's too late. Raffle drawings will be in the ballroom just shortly after 8:30, and you or a designee need to be present with your raffle ticket to win. Silent auctions will be posted around 9:15, so please check the winner boards to see if you're a lucky winner. I wish all of you bon appetit and a wonderful time at Hope on Broadway, and please continue enjoying your entrees during the performance. Now, without further ado, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce my fellow co-chair, Patty Roble.
Thank you, Monica. I do want to say that this evening would not have come to fruition without the dedication and extremely hard work that Monica has put into this event. She worked with the staff here at Lakewood Ranch Country Club and has made this a seamless evening. So I really, really think we need to give her a round of applause for everything that is here this evening. And once again, this is the bracelet. It's going to be raffled off. It's a John Hardy sterling with black sapphires, generously donated by Dr. Carol Kleinman, and it's a lovely piece of jewelry. So if you would like to have one, you can go buy a raffle ticket, one for $30 and two for $50. Now, this evening, as the 25th year of the Black and White event, when we discussed what we wanted to do for this event, we talked about making it something very special and threw around a number of different themes and came back to, well, let's do something musical. And as we talked about something musical, we thought perhaps maybe Broadway music. And something clicked in me, and I thought, I know someone who can do a wonderful presentation of Broadway tunes. So she happens to be the sister of our assistant golf pro here at Lakewood Ranch. And I talked to Vanessa and I said, do you think your sister would come back for this event? Oh, I think she would love to. So I contacted Alexandra, and she graciously accepted our invitation to perform to you tonight. She is an accomplished singer and performer. She has performed on Broadway with touring companies and individual performances, and you are in for a true treat this evening. I would like to introduce her without further ado, Alexandra Fassler-Baruch.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. Through all these years, I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. I won't look back, I will always recall, moment for moment. This is the moment, the greatest moment of them all. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for that heavenly cause. And I know that I'll always be true to this glorious quest, and my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. prayers we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood, but we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like a summer bird too swiftly flown away. But now I'm standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Thank you. On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me, and when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me. In the rain, the pavement shines like silver. All the lights are misty in the river. In the darkness, the trees are full of starlight, and all I see is him and me forever and forever. And I know it's only in my mind that I'm talking to myself and not to him. And although I know that he is blind, still I say there's a way for us. I love him, but when the night is over, he is gone. The river's just a river. Without him, the world around me changes. The trees are bare and everywhere the streets are full of strangers. I love him, but every day I'm learning think you see who I really am, but you'll never know me every day. It's as if I played a part. Now I see if I wear a mask, I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? When will my reflection show who I am inside? There's a heart that must be free to fly, that burns with a need to know the reasons why. I won't pretend that I'm someone else for all time. When will my reflection show who I am inside? When will my reflection show who I am I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. I don't know if you would listen to a gypsy's prayer. Yes, I know I'm just an outcast. I shouldn't speak to you. Still, I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcasts, hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. God help my people, we look to you still. God help the outcasts, or nobody will. I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. Please help my people, the poor and downtrodden. I thought we all were the children of God. God help the outcasts, children of I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you to hear it echoing. Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never, never, never enough, never, never, never enough for me, for me, for me. For me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Kiss today goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for love. Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is smiling alone in the lamplight, the withered I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Burned out ends of smoky days, the stale cold smell of morning. A street lamp dies, another night is over, another day is dawning. Touch me, it's so easy to leave me all alone with the memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness is. Look, a new day has begun.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me with these shoes and this apron. That place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two for that girl that I knew who'd be reckless just enough, who'll get hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a growing stronger each day, till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. Used to be mine. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been such a beautiful evening, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Thank you. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Monica. From the day we arrived on the planet and blinking stepped into the sun, there's more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done in the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding, yeah, in the circle of life, on the path unwinding, in the circle of life. Thank you.
Thank you again for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the Alexandra. She did a beautiful job, just as we expected that she would. But now we have something that we would like you to see. We have a special guest here tonight. This is Jennifer. And Jennifer was kind enough to tell her story on a video. And that's what we'd like to show you now. And this video explains the reason that we're all here tonight. So, Charles?
My name is Jennifer, and I am a domestic violence survivor, and I came to Hope 5 years ago for their services. This relationship that I had been in for 5 years at the time, there had been several instances of violence, and normally the patterns were pretty similar. So I would be held hostage in a room. My kids were not present for it, or they might have heard it, but it was usually behind closed doors. I now know what was happening to me was not called choking. I've said it was choking for a long time, but it was actually strangulation. There was always a threat over my life, and I didn't really take it seriously until maybe the second to last time. I remember looking into his eyes and thinking to myself, he's really gonna kill me this time. And instead of walking away that time, I I don't know if it was a trauma response, but I remember I got up and I actually convinced him not to take my life. I just talked him out of it and like talked him down. And then I took my son, that was 2 at the time, to get his first haircut that same day. And no one knew anything. So when I tell you that I hid it well, no one knew. I was really good at it. So the last time that it happened, it was the exact same pattern, except for my children were there and they had to hear him say these things about me, that he was gonna take my life. And I can't take that back from them. And I think seeing their faces and hearing this voice inside saying, do you want to get well? I knew what I was facing on the other side was going to be really difficult. Like my journey was just going to begin. I didn't really trust anyone at that time because I had been through so much and I had kept so much private, and I didn't really feel super supported throughout my journey. But the moment I walked into Hope and just had that first contact, I immediately was able to, I feel like, breathe for the first time. They were so accepting and full of grace. There was no judgment. I didn't, like, up until this point, I just felt all eyes on me, and they just really gave me a feeling that they saw me. I felt seen. And they met me exactly where I was at. And the most important thing I can say is that the shame that I felt just fell off of me. And instead of just this, how did you get here? Why didn't you leave kind of mentality, they just had this, I'm so glad you're here. Like, I'm so glad that you're here. How can we keep you safe? And it just calmed me. And I just immediately trusted them. They helped me to write out or just mentally prepare myself for how I might keep myself safe going forward. They provided me legal services or referrals that helped me to make some really important decisions. And then also support groups, which was incredibly helpful, just to sit with other survivors and victims and talk about, you know, similar experiences and things like that. They walked beside me. They didn't judge me. I didn't feel ashamed, and I had felt that way coming out of the situation I was in. Even though I was a victim, I felt like I had done something wrong and that somehow I might have caused this upon myself and my children. That was a lie that I was telling myself, and they really spoke truth over that. It's so important to have people to walk beside you, and Hope really got me grounded in those first few months walking away from it. It takes time, it's a process, but you can find strength. And I am standing here today, 5 years later, and I don't think anybody would know if I didn't say anything. 5 years ago today, I walked away from a relationship that had diminished my self-worth. But today I stand as a woman's leader. I lead multiple groups. I am a writer, and I just published my first book called Major Faith this summer. It was a really big accomplishment for me. And it just talks about my journey and some of the ways that I found joy and freedom again. Today I am motivated by my passion to serve and walk beside other women that have been in similar situations. I don't want to give advice or tell people what to do because of what I've been through. I really just want to be an advocate and a voice for them. Not enough people know or are educated around domestic violence and what it is. So if it's the last thing I do, I will be that voice. And the joy that I feel, it's genuine now. I mean, I can really walk in that freedom. But my children are thriving too. It's beautiful what's happened in our lives, and what was meant for evil has been turned into something good. So we're thriving as a family. We've come a long way. I want to thank Hope Family Services for all that they've done to support me and my family through this journey. I also want to thank them for all that they do for our community.